What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. Today it is time for the Week 36 Premier League predictions, and nothing is decided. Relegation, top four, even the title, it's all to play for in these final few weeks. So please do drop a like if you're excited and subscribe down below, as we've just reached 21,000 subscribers and we're trying to hit 25,000 this year. I also want to give a massive shout out to Shivan Jethwa, who left their predictions on the previous video. They predicted the 1-1 draw between Man United and Chelsea, which I thought was a very good prediction. Again, the Man United win against Brentford, winning to 0. Another good prediction. Liverpool's winning against Newcastle in a low-scoring game, and just some all-around good picks there. Obviously, no one can predict all of them, but I thought they had a pretty good week. So if you want a chance to be featured in the next episode of the Premier League predictions, then leave your predictions down in the comments below. I also want to give a shout-out to two new members, Chris Banjo and Rick Wilson. Thank you so much for joining the TF90 Super Tipsters. We've had some really good picks over there at the moment, and as it stands, we're still on to win an ACCA this week. I don't know the result of the Man City Real Madrid game yet, so I don't know if that's come in, but overall we're having a great time over there. We're averaging about 70% success rate with tips each weekend, which is a very high percentage if you know and if you've been in betting and that sort of thing. So I'm very happy with that. If you want to join and support the channel, then feel free to do so by clicking the join button or the join link. But moving on past that, let's just hope we can bring our Champions League form into the Premier League, because we've been absolutely smashing it. So let's kick it off with Brentford up against Southampton. Now, I think the Brentford fans are going to give the home crowd something to be excited about. I think this is going to be a good game for them. They were not great against Manchester United. They probably were maybe good for a goal, but at the end of the day, they were very much outplayed and did deserve to lose. I think 3-0, perhaps a little bit flattering for Man United. Maybe 2-0 would have been a good scoreline for them. But either way, I think Brentford will want to bounce back here and beat this Southampton side, who, you know, are notorious for not doing that great at the end of the season. You know, they're on the beach, so to speak. I think Brentford are going to get the win. I'm going to go for a 2-1, and my tip is over 2.5 goals at 1.9. In case Southampton go nuts or whatever happens, we don't have to look at the result market. We can look at the goals. Now, somewhere where I think we can look towards the result market is the next fixture, Burnley up against Aston Villa. I think Burnley are going to do it again. We predicted Burnley to beat Watford in the previous game week by a goal, and we had the tip of Burnley draw no bet come in. I'm going to go for the same one here. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Burnley against Aston Villa. I think the passion, the fight, it does count for something in these games, and I'm going to go for the win to Burnley. My tip is Burnley draw no bet at 2. I don't think at this stage of the game Aston Villa are going to go to Turf Moor and pick up a victory, and if that's the case, then this is a free hit at evens to double your money. After that, it's Chelsea up against Wolves. Wolves have definitely fallen away a little bit in the latter stages of the season. Chelsea need to try and end on a high, because it's been a tough few weeks for them. I know they've got the FA Cup final to worry about soon, which will be exciting, but I think they're going to want to try and win this game, and I think they're going to want to keep a clean sheet, and I think they will. If they're ever going to do it against anyone, it'll probably be against either Wolves or Norwich. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Chelsea, but just in case Wolves did get that goal and it was like a 3-1 win or something, for the same value as Chelsea win to 0, my tip is going to be Chelsea -1 at 2. I think this is finally the game where it clicks for Chelsea and they score some of the chances that they actually end up creating. Now, after that, it is Crystal Palace up against Watford. I think this is going to be another win for Crystal Palace. Watford, they have got a goal in them. They went up early against Burnley and then threw away the lead, ended up losing 2-1, more or less down. I'm going to say the exact scoreline. Watford lost 2-1 last week. Palace won 2-1 last week. Put them together. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Crystal Palace win. My tip is Palace to win and over 1.5 goals at 2.05. That massively bolsters the odds just for it to not be a 1-0 win. And with the way Palace have been attacking this season, I don't think it will only be a 1-0 win. Now, after that, a very intriguing game. It's Brighton up against Manchester United. Brighton absolutely destroying Wolves 3-0, and rightfully so. They played very well. They could have scored more. I think this is going to be a very tough test for Manchester United, and Brighton, don't get me wrong, will be up for it, because every team raises their level when they play Manchester United. It's just the thing you do. Whereas when you play like Liverpool and City, teams almost don't raise their level because they feel like they've been beaten anyway. But everyone thinks they can beat Man United, and everyone can beat Man United. But I think United are going to get an away win here. Ronaldo, even though there's only a couple games left, he's going for that goal scoring record, the Golden Boot. He's only a few behind Salah now. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Manchester United win. And my tip, because the odds are so good, I've not included both teams to score an amount of goals, to 0 or anything like that. My tip is simply Man United to win at 2.45. And another tip I would give is Cristiano Ronaldo to score, because if anyone's going to do it for United, it is going to be the main man. After that, massive game. A bit of an odd kickoff, but it's Saturday evening. Liverpool up against Tottenham. Liverpool managed to get away from Villarreal unscathed. Ended up winning on the night, actually, 3-2 on aggregate, thanks to a crazy second-half performance. I thought Luis Diaz was a fantastic player in that game. I would have said up until about a month ago, I was saying, you know, in terms of signing of the season, I was thinking, you know, the mid-season, Kulusevski was a really good shout for that. But this last month, I think the combination of Kulusevski going on a bit of a downturn and Luis Diaz continuing to just perform, just paramount performances, I think I'd have to say Luis Diaz has been absolutely phenomenal. I think Tottenham will get on the score sheet. I think Liverpool are going to win this one. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Liverpool. My tip is Liverpool and both teams to score at 2.87. Now, moving on to the Sunday fixtures, it's all to play for in Arsenal up against Leeds. Arsenal trying to hold on to the 4th Champions League spot, my guys, and Leeds trying to escape the relegation battle. All of a sudden, some good results for Burnley and some good results for Everton, and Leeds have been dragged right down in there. Actually, more likely, as far as the odds are concerned, to go down than Burnley at this point in time, which is absolutely crazy when you think about it. Unfortunately for Leeds, they're playing Arsenal, who are better than them in general, but also playing for something at this stage of the season. At home, I think Arsenal are going to win. I don't see Arsenal keeping a clean sheet. I think Leeds will score. I can see that happening. But I'm going to go for a 2-1 win, to Arsenal. And my tip is Arsenal to win and over 2.5 goals at 2.05. I think there'll be a lot of goals, but just in case Arsenal win 2-0, like 3 or 4-0, and it's just a brilliant performance, I'm not including both teams to score in that. But I do expect Leeds to contribute to the scoreline, and then therefore for Arsenal to win, it has to be 3 or more goals. Now, after that, it's Leicester up against Everton. This is a tricky one to predict. Leicester, we don't know their fate in the Europa Conference League at this time, but Everton are, of course, fighting for their lives. I think the fact that Leeds have been dragged into this is definitely helpful in terms of Everton, because I don't think they're going to catch up to Burnley. They might overtake Leeds at this point, but I don't know if they're going to catch up to Burnley. They're going to want to take 3 points here, but I don't see it happening. I think Leicester are going to be a tricky customer. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think both teams score, so my tip is going to be both teams to score at 1.7. This could be 2-1 either way. I think Everton are going to struggle to pick up all 3 points away from home here. After that, it is Norwich up against West Ham. West Ham, again, we don't know their fate in the Europa League at the time of making this video. I hope they do qualify. I hope they do. It's going to be a tricky test for them, but Norwich have already been relegated. They're playing for pride. West Ham, whether they're into the final of the Europa League or not, if they are, it'll be a couple of weeks away, and if they're not, they're going to try and play for position in the league as much as possible. They're going to beat this Norwich side. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to West Ham, and I couldn't believe the value here when I saw this. This is probably a banker of mine for the week. West Ham to win at 1.75. In my head, they should be like a 1.6 or something like that. You know, they're saying Palace are more likely to beat Watford at home than West Ham are to beat Norwich. I think those two should at least be on par. If anything, Palace at maybe 1.7 and West Ham at 1.65. I just think it's a bit skewed. I think West Ham are going to win this quite comfortably. And the final game is Manchester City up against Newcastle. Man City have Liverpool hot on their heels. Still, at the time of recording, I don't know whether or not Manchester City have made it to the final of the Champions League. They're playing Real Madrid tonight, so that is, of course, very exciting. But they are going to be focused on this regardless of whether or not they make the final. And especially if they don't make the final, by the way, they've got to try and stop Liverpool winning the quadruple. And if they don't make the Champions League final, the only way they can stop Liverpool is by winning the Premier League. And then, you know, the rest is obviously up to Chelsea and Liverpool. We see how that goes. But I think City are going to absolutely batter Newcastle here. I'll give Newcastle a goal because they've been playing pretty well this season. I'm going to go for a 4-1 win to Manchester City. There's not a lot of value in this. Everything's obviously very much in favour of Manchester City. So my tip is Man City to score in both halves at 1.66. That's at a better value than City to win and over 2.5 goals and City to win at halftime, full time. That is better value. So this could be 1-1 at halftime and 2-2 at full time, and this tip would still come in. So that is going to do it for my Premier League predictions of week 36. If you did enjoy this video, please do drop a like, subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. I think the next one will be another Premier League prediction video. So we're slowing down the uploads now that we're coming into the business end of the season, but then of course we've got the new season and then the World Cup towards the end of the year. So please do drop your predictions down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.